Hi there, and thank you for your interest in El Potty. I want to take this moment to tell you a little bit of who I am and how El Potty can serve you. My name is Anna Gauthier. I am a maternal-child nurse and an expert potty trainer. My journey with El Potty started way before I was a registered nurse, and I want to tell you a little bit more about it. See, when I was growing up in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico, potty training wasn't really a thing. I came to understand that potty training was a thing of need as I, became a grown adult. At first, I was a little curious, and I started asking a lot of questions because I couldn't really understand why were parents running into trouble, and the more I spoke to parents and the more I spoke to friends and colleagues of mine, the more I realized, their troubles really stem from, the lack of family support, the lack of that family village, that famous village that everybody talks about, when people say, it takes a village to raise a family. And, I was raised into that village. You see, when I was a little girl many years ago, I grew up around a lot of family, and everybody had their part, and everybody was expected to help each other out, right? There was that understanding and that expectation that even your neighbors would chip in. And it was normal to see children running around naked. It was normal to have children just kind of like, find their way on their own, The parents were there in the extended family, grandparents, sisters, aunts, uncles, they were around for guidance. They were around for assistance. They were around for shelter and safety. So there was never that stress of, I'm so overwhelmed with my children. I'm so overwhelmed with all the responsibilities, because people always chipped in. And what the neighbors thought back then was important. You know what I mean? Because the neighbors were part of that village. The neighbors were part of raising you. It was that family support that a lot of parents lack nowadays, right? We don't have that family support. We're expected to kind of do everything on our own. The expectations are kind of so intense, therefore making everything a little bit harder. And the more responsibilities that we get as parents, the harder it gets to implement all these steps and know exactly what to do to transition our children properly into, different areas such as potty training. There's not a system in place, right? There's Google, but Google is not really, flesh and bone, right? They're not there to cushion you up. They're there the engine is there to flood you with all types of different information. So, a lot of parents rely on that as their resource. Can you imagine? They don't have that support to guide them and let them know this is okay, this is normal, go ahead, keep going, you know what I mean? It's normal to make mistakes, do this, possibly why don't we try something else, So now you're here home, you're confused, you don't know what the right thing to do, the right thing to say, and what's crossing your mind is, I really don't want to mess up my child, right? So basically this pushed me a little bit more to continue to teach potty training, because I, as you know, have 5 children, and I feel like I've been helping children potty train for all my life, because like I said, I grew up in an island that was full of family, and I grew up around many cousins and my siblings and neighbors, so it was just like, at some point there was always a baby out of diapers. At some point there was always a baby crawling. There was a baby that needed assistance. So it was such a natural thing to just let them figure it out on their own. You know what I mean? Like through observation, through routines, through basically getting their hands dirty and being okay with that, letting children explore their body, let them explore the world around them, right? The little ones just kind of followed the bigger ones around, and then the parents were there to kind of, again, give that guidance and that extra step and that extra push, as you would say, right? The baby had an accident on the floor, and it was like, okay, pick up the poop, pick up the pee, tell the baby where it belongs. boom. You know what I mean? The next time was the same thing, but it wasn't like that stress. It wasn't that stress like, oh my God, the baby had an accident on the floor, they're not ready. That notion of readiness wasn't even something that was talked about. The child started walking and the diapers just started coming off. You know what I mean? They started coming off, and the pots were around and the toilets were around. And when the bigger sibling went to the bathroom, it was just like, take the baby with you. And when you needed to change the diaper, it was like baby was in the bathroom. Parents were throwing the poop down the toilet, cleaning the baby in the bathroom, sitting the baby down in the toilet. So it was just like that natural routine that just went on as the normal thing of life. So again, coming here and seeing my colleagues, my friends and everything kind of like struggle with this milestone was kind of like a little bit of a shock to me. So I started slowly teaching my friends, my colleagues, and by that time I had potty trained 3 of my children, right? I have 5, but when I started El Potty, there was only 3. And then little by little things just started developing, from my writings, my PowerPoints that I started giving out. I purchased my domain, which is, elpotty.com. And then from there, I started getting involved in social media. I really wasn't, and I still don't consider myself that techie. But I had to learn it. I had to learn, with the punches once again, and after, being involved in parenting forums, helping colleagues and friends, helping, new family members who have been born here and are now parents, they're young parents and they need assistance through the one-on-one support that I've been doing, through virtual support. Basically through all these different avenues, I basically helped thousands of parents, and it's been such a neat experience because I get them to realize like, wow, having my child be successful in this journey is amazing, and knowing that I really can do it. You know what I mean? When the parents realize, I can do it, I can do it. I just needed, again, that guidance to tell me that's okay, that's normal, keep going. This is, absolutely, very common. You know what I mean? Let me teach you the strategy. Try this. This is not working. Try that. That's usually what your older sister, your aunts, your grandma, your mom, that's if you lived in a family unit the way I was growing up, that's usually that's what would happen, So our family was Google back then, right? Except it was more kind of, more intimate and more trustworthy, right? Because you search on Google and a million different answers, and who do you trust, right? So anyway, that's El Potty in a nutshell. I could talk about El Potty all day. The journey has been quite interesting. Getting El Potty to this point has not been easy, but it's been quite gratifying. And every single time I could tap into a parent's world and let them know that everything is going to be okay, and let them know that the natural processes are the natural processes that need to take place for a child to like thrive and grow, and basically guide them in the right path and let them know that everything is going to be okay. So I'm basically here to let you know that this is my story, and that if you need any help, any guidance, and you want to trust me to help you through this journey, I'm here, and I could 100% guide you in the right path. I could show you the ropes and let you know that you're not alone, and that you are doing your best, and that everything is going to be okay. I want to thank you guys once again, and this is Anna here teaching you how to potty train your children. Peace.